What's up, everybody? It is June 9th, 2024, and this is another episode of the Now Mind You Podcast Combat Edition. We are your hosts. I'm Matt,
I'm Bryce.
and TJ could not be with us today, had a personal matter to take care of, but he will be back next week. With that said, we are going to be covering last night, that being June the 8th, UFC card, the UFC on ESPN Fight Night, Cannonier versus Imavov. Without any further ado, we're gonna jump straight into it. We're gonna go into it quick because they got into it quick as well. Bryce, you are gonna, if you don't mind, sir, take us into the very first fight.
All right, very first fight, welterweight fight between Miguel Beza and Punanelli Soriano. I believe it was Miguel Beza's return fight. He had an injury of some kind. I think he was laid off for 1 to 2 years. And this is like I said, this was his return fight. Um, you know, knowing that that's his return fight, I don't think this is going to be a big. I don't think this is gonna have some after effects on not after effects, but just count. I don't know how to put it. It's not gonna fuck with Miguel Beza's momentum or reputation rather. Um, because um this fight was definitely a dominant display on Soriano's case. The match was win via decision for Soriano. He was just absolutely dominant when it came to the grappling. Beza was just he couldn't do anything on the ground. Um, any chance that Soriano, let me go over it. So the first round, I believe Beza did try to get Soriano um, I think it was
You got
a
several
leg
submissions.
several submissions. He was definitely transitioning, but Soriano was just very good on the ground, very good at transitions. And every time Beza had his head open, Soriano made him pay for it. And I think overall that's what was happening. Maybe Beza was just getting dazed. Yeah, Soriano had 331 total strikes on the ground, and I think total strikes, majority of them was definitely from being on the ground, from being in a dominant position over Beza on the ground. And yeah, it's just Beza really couldn't do anything. And not to mention it was probably so and just wiping him out cardio wise to just kind of have Soriano on you and just pinning you and just hitting you. Um, yeah, Soriano had 5 out of 6 takedowns. Bays only had like 22 out of 33 total strikes and set up and up in them significant. It was an absolute good dominant display by Soriano. Um, yeah, this was the only card that went to decision on the card. If you just as a FYI as to what we're gonna get into with this card. But it was a good opening card. Matt, what did you think?
Yeah,
Opening
man.
fight.
I think it was a little more for me personally, it was more grappling than I probably would have wanted, but that also was like survival type of grappling. But dude was
Yeah,
trying,
he
I
was
ain't gonna
trying.
lie, he definitely was trying for some he's definitely trying for submissions, but I'll definitely say Puno was the one making the fight. He was pushing the pace, like you said, really did a good job at just burning this dude out. I mean, he even said it after, afterwards in his post-fight interview that being at 170 just makes wrestling so much easier. Um, so, like you said, Bryce, wrestling was definitely a part of that game plan for him. And being at this new weight class for him definitely made it helpful.
Mhm.
Did you have any last thoughts you wanted to put on that?
No, no, just like I said, this was the only fight that went to decision. Keep
Yeah.
this in mind, people.
All right. Well, we're gonna go into our next one, which was Julian Marquez versus Zachary Reese. This fight was a middleweight fight. I'm gonna tell you, just like I told my wife when they lined these guys up, I said the guy is from Texas and he has a mullet. This is about to be a problem. And 20 seconds later, I was right. In 20 seconds, Zachary Reese dispatched Julian Marquez with an insane uppercut that shit, man. I mean, literally started with like the most basic of striking exchanges, and Reese just stand in southpaw, followed him through a left hand, swung an uppercut as he was trying to get out of the way, and just caught him perfectly on that spot on the chin. And literally within 20 seconds was out of there. Julian Marquez landed literally one punch, and Zachary Reese landed six.
Mm.
This fight lasted 20 seconds. I have literally nothing I can tell you about it. Bryce, I'm gonna pass it back to you.
Yeah, he got knocked the fuck out. There's really nothing
Oh,
else I can say either. I mean, like it was such a clean shot. It was a clean shot. He was stiff as soon as he got hit with it. Um,
mm-hmm,
I think the energy the dude had was just very, very quick with it. I think he caught him with a front kick to the side first too. It was
mm-hmm.
a front kick. I think he hit him with a hook and then the uppercut. It was something like that, but it was just very quick. They were trying to get into it quick, and he just got caught. Julian just got caught clean. I'm just glad that the ref stopped it when he did.
Yeah,
It looked like he was good. Like after the fact, he was good. Like he was talking to the ref. He was talking to the ref. So yeah, but he got clean. He got caught clean. Sorry, not the fuck knocked the fuck out is was harsh, but he got caught. He got caught. It's
it was
nothing else to
crazy.
say. Yeah.
Well, speaking of
Sure.
Will, he just got
Let's go to
caught.
the next one.
We got Bruno Ferreira
Yeah.
versus Dustin Stoltzfus. And listen, so this
Yeah.
fight went longer. This
It
fight
did.
this fight went. This fight was also a middleweight. I guess the middleweights really was feeling some type of way last night. Um,
It almost went to the second round.
almost, yeah, almost,
Um,
almost. We get two guys, Dustin, not Dustin, Bruno Ferreira.
I hate
Uh, they both of these guys were matched up pretty evenly. Even when you look at however many stats that there are just for this one round, it was actually pretty even as far as the striking exchanges were concerned. Dustin even got a takedown in, but you kind of started seeing that Bruno was like a little trickier, right? Like just a little bit. And it amidst that trickiness and craftiness, he decides to pull out a spinning elbow to dodge a punch and completely disconnects Dustin Stoltzfus.
yeah.
Um, this is maybe not knockout of the year, but it's gonna be on some lists. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna hold you. This gonna make some lists. Shit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he knocked him out cold with 4 minutes and 50 seconds into the first round. Nine
Yeah.
seconds left. We was real close to a second round, but it was not fate.
Yes,
It was
indeed.
not fate. Bryce, I'll pass that back to you.
The crazy thing is, Dustin was trying not to let Bruno cook. That was his whole game plan. Like, not let Bruno really start. But
Hmm.
still, he just got caught. Bruno. I mean, I guess Bruno had some good shots before he ended it, but ultimately, Justin's game plan. That's the thing about people with power. I mean, yeah, you can have a good game plan, but it's just the fact that all they need is just one hit. They just need one open shot. Like guys like Black Beast. Who else? Edson Barbosa. Um, who's another person? It's Francis.
Yeah.
Just one, and just like you're out. And hell, Cannonier. I'm gonna talk about that one later. Why I thought like going into this, I was like, oh man, this might go Imavov's way, but yeah, he just got caught. That was such a clean elbow. It was such a good dodge too. It was very good. It was beautiful. But yeah, shall I go to the next one?
Yeah.
This is a very interesting one. I didn't know he was on the card. I didn't know both of these people were on the card. It was a bantamweight fight: Raul Rosas Jr. versus Ricky Tercios. Raul's been making the rounds. He's a young, very young prospect, very young in his career, and he's doing a great job. I think he's picking the good fights, and he's doing good. He's getting them bonuses. I tell you that. Versus Ricky Tercios. If you don't know him, he was in the Ultimate Fighter. Um, I want to say I don't was he wasn't the winner, but he was definitely one of the runner ups, wasn't he?
Yeah, Ricky made it pretty far.
He made it pretty far. Um, And this guy is unpredictable. Ricky is very unpredictable. Funny enough, going into this fight, Raul and Ricky start the fight. Raul goes in, just for the glove touch, just out of respect. Ricky's like, nah, fuck that, and fucking threw a fucking uh
No. He literally says, "Fuck you."
fuck you.
Directly to he said "fuck you" to him and ran after him and threw a kick
Yes, he
for
did.
trying to touch gloves with him.
Yep. Yep, yep, yep.
This nigga Ricky out his fucking mind, man.
He is, but he's entertaining. And that first round, I gotta give it to Ricky. He did have Raul on the ground and he was taking good control of him. He almost had him in a rear naked choke. Um, but I think Raul just made it out of the round, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Going into the second, no, or did Raul take him down and then Ricky took over from the ground? I can't remember. I think it was that. I think Raul got him to the ground, but Ricky kind of took over on the ground and then got into the rear naked choke. Yep. That's what happened.
Hmm.
That was the first round though. The second round, Raul came through again. And this time he really had a hold on Ricky. Using that, his jujitsu was definitely better. His wrestling was better, and he was able to just kind of get Raul, get to his back, and eventually get the rear naked choke. Funny enough, I think one of the commentators was saying that Raul was trying to get out, but he was going to the wrong side when it came to when Ricky got his back and had the triangle on his body. And yeah, eventually he just got tapped. Very, very interesting fight. Definitely something memorable on the card. Ricky's definitely going to be back on a main card because he's unpredictable and just a good win for Raul. He's so young and this is just very good for him to get these type of wins and rack them up. I don't see him in the title scene anytime soon, but I do see him in the title scene at least once or twice.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. But yeah, I'll pass it to you, Matt.
I thought it was funny. Ricky's always very entertaining. It's like 100 miles an hour. It's very expressive when he fights and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm,
So, I thought for as long as the fight lasted, it was fun. But
mm-hmm,
yeah, man, you know, uh, Raul Rosas, he proves why he's in the position that he's in, and why they continue to try to push him, and why they want to see him, in these different spots. And I thought that he did a great job handling that pressure, dealing with the forward pressure of Ricky Tercios, and eventually getting underneath that chin and getting that rear naked choke and putting him out. So I thought he did a really good job all the way around. I thought it was really cool. Um, yeah, man, it was just, it was one of them call the ambulance, but not for me type moments.
yeah.
So
Yep. That's the best way to put it.
next we had Dominic Reyes and Dustin Jacoby. This is a fight at light heavyweights. First fight in a little while for Dominic Reyes, who kind of had a rough go of things after his initial loss to John Jones. Things kind of spun out of control for him for a little bit. Uh, he lost to John Jones and he dropped three straight right after that. Jan Blachowicz, Yuri Prochaska, and Ryan Spann. And on the other side of that, we had Dustin Jacoby, who was coming off of a close decision loss to Alonzo Minifield back in December of 2023. Whereas for Dominic, he hadn't fought since November of 2022. So, it was a significantly long layoff, longest layoff of his career. Man, you wouldn't have known it if you watched this fight. I want to just go back to this. If we going on them freaky fast finishes, man, Jimmy Johns was busy because
Oh, wait. We got a new one. It's not the freaky fast finish
oh,
anymore. It's
what was the
the
new one?
blazing finish.
It's the
That was
what?
Buffalo Wild Wings. It's the blazing finish.
Well, he put the blazing finish on this dude. This Dominic Reyes been gone all this time and needed less than 3 minutes to dispatch Dustin Jacoby. He stayed very disciplined, staying in his southpaw stance, ate a few leg kicks that he definitely did not like. You could just tell just from how he took the kicks. Coming forward out of that, there were a few hand exchanges and uh he started getting the better of Dustin Jacoby, and what really was the nail in the coffin on that was a left knee that he ended up hitting Jacoby with that sent him flying back to the cage. And after that, it was just all academic. He just rained down punches on him until the referee jumped in there. And yeah, man, there's another one. There's really not a lot I can say on it because this fight literally was 2 minutes long. But congratulations, to Dominic Reyes for breaking that loss streak and for coming back. So going on him. With
Oh,
that
yeah.
said, I'll pass it over to you, young coach.
No, no, I think you hit it right on the head. Yeah, no, Dominic just with a good, I think it was a good cross, and just that knee just took it home. It was good the ref stopped it when it did. Um, I know Dustin tried to fight it, but it's like, bro, like when the ref got away, you like fell to the ground. Um,
Hmm.
there was no way. Um, also, just for my own sake, I just need to say this. Jimmy Johns was it was bad, but Jimmy Johns was disrespectful. Buffalo Wild Wings is just sinister.
Now,
Blazing finish. Come on, bro. We going to sauces now. What's going on? Stop it. Stop it.
blazing fast finish.
Nah, nah. Um, that's just my 2 cents. Uh, yeah, great to have Dominic back. Um, maybe we'll start to see him kind of get back into the title scene. I don't know, but nowadays when it comes to the light heavyweight and I'll say the middleweight, you know,
Yeah, light
don't
heavyweight division is up in the air.
yeah, light heavyweight up in the air, welter's kind of up in the air, middle's in the air for me. Middle keep changing,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, good fight. So let's get to this main event. Middleweight battle: Jared Cannonier versus Nasruddin Imavov. I didn't know Imavov was from France, man. Them French fighters, bro. Ooh, the technique is crazy. Jared Cannonier is coming off of a win, I believe. No, who was his last fight? His last fight was against Marvin Vittori. Yep. He was
Hmm.
coming off a win off of Marvin, which was a big win. Marvin's always like stayed at least the top five, I think. And Nasruddin Imavov was a last win via decision against Roman Dolidze. And that was in February. So yeah, good fight between them. It went to 4 rounds, and it went to a win via TKO KO to Nasruddin won via KO TKO. Jarrett looked great. Jarrett Cannonier looked amazing. Um, but going into what I think going into it, the two just kind of was filling each other out, I believe, for that first round. But Jarrett was getting some good shots, and he was at least catching it with that jab, and he was catching it with the cross a little bit. Um, Nasruddin was kind of just, I feel like he was a little bit more of the active fighter, but it just looked like Jarrett's strikes had a little bit more power in it. So to me, it just seemed like, yeah, you're definitely getting more strikes in, but like Jarrett could knock you out. At least that's what I thought at first. Going into that third round, when it looked like Nasruddin started to kind of really have a good read on Jarrett. and so he was picking up the pace a little bit. And Jared was keeping up. I just think the difference was definitely seen. Nasardine's speed was definitely his best attribute against Jared Cannonier. Going into the fourth round, Jared Cannonier hit him with like a spinning elbow, and Nasardine ate it. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't see this fight going in Jared Cannonier's favor because Nasardine was the faster of the two and because he was kind of cleaner with the shots. Though Jared Cannonier had the power, I was down he could put him down with just one of those shots. And of course, going into it, Nasardine caught Jared with a good, I want to say it was a hook. I can't remember exactly, but it definitely had Jared stunned. Jared tried to run away to the other side of the ring, and Nasardine just kept the pressure up. I think Jared tried to run again. Nasardine was catching him, and eventually the ref had to stop the fight. To be fair, um, it did look like Jared was starting to get his bases back little by little. Um, but he was still kind of getting pieced up a little bit, even though he was dazed. So I'll chalk it up to just being up in the air of whether or not the ref should have stopped it or not. I can see why. If you see a fighter running, yes, it's a smart idea, but also you're also on limp legs, and I don't know. Um, it was a good display by both fighters. I don't think Jared really lost anything in this fight. I mean, besides um he's probably gonna have to do a couple more fights if he wants to kind of put his name in the ballot for another main event fight or another shot at the title. But the fight was pretty close. Jared had 102 out of 152 total strikes. Nasardine had 106 out of 159. Significant strikes, Jared had 64. Nasardine had 82. Jared had 1 out of 1 takedowns. Nasardine had 2 out of. Yeah. It was a great fight. Great fight. Matt, what you think?
Um, do you think the stoppage was a good stop?
I think I understand why the ref did it. Could have gone a little bit more, yes. But, you know, what I'll say is this: when he ran to the other side of the cage, he was kind of still limp on the cage. Like he was kind of using the cage to hold him up. So it's like, all right, you're running, but how I know you're trying to recover, but how fucked up are you right now? I it could have went more. It could have went more. It could have went a little bit more. But that's it could have went a couple. I would have gave him like 5, 6 more seconds. But that's it. Because he was getting pieced up.
It was. It was.
What'd
That's
you think?
true. I thought the fight was good, man. I was pulling for Jared Cannonier, but it was very evident that it just wasn't going to be the case. Um, you also got to factor in Jared Cannonier's 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he also has some actually his resume is pretty interesting because he has a win over Sean Strickland.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, he
Yep.
beat Sean
Talking about
Strickland 2 years ago. They had a main event against each other, just kind of through the ways that things have gone, and also just through Jared Cannonier's fluctuation, not even fluctuation, but his journeys through weight. He's fought a lot of different guys just throughout the weight classes. Like he's fought Ion Cutelaba at light heavyweight. He's fought Glover Teixeira. Like he has fought Jan Blachowicz. He's fought Dominic Reyes. You know what I'm saying? David Branch. He's fought Anderson Silva. Jack Hermanson. He's fought Robert Whitaker. He's fought Kelvin Gastelum. Beat him too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
he's had a career, man.
Yeah.
He's definitely had a career. But yeah. Uh, I didn't have any other thoughts on that one. I thought the fight overall was good. What was your favorite fight of the night?
What would be my favorite fight of the night? Um, I really like seeing Dominic Reyes back. Uh, I mean, I can't really call the other fights fights. They weren't. I mean, yeah, I guess. Um, I'll say Dominic Reyes still. I'll say that. Dominic Reyes versus Destiny Kobe. What about you?
Yeah. If I had to pick one, mm, I ain't gonna lie, I'd probably go Bruno Fajeda because of that spinning elbow. That shit was crazy.
That was good.
Yeah, that spinning elbow was tough.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the spinning elbow was there was a lot going on. So outside of that, and that was yeah, that's definitely the one I would have gave it to. Um Next week, what we will be covering, we got UFC fight night. We got Alex Perez versus Tatsuda Taira. It's UFC's newest Japanese signing, so we'll see how he turns out on this next
Okay.
card. Also, well, no, that's in another 2 weeks. So yeah, that's as far as combat sports. That's all we'll be covering next week. We don't have any boxing for next week. Um, but thank you guys so much for rocking with us. This has been another episode of the Now Mind You podcast, Combat Edition. You can follow us all on social media. You can follow me at Matt Hambrick. That's MATTHAMBRIC Bryce.
You can find me at Ashe_on. That's AXE_ONCA. And where can they find our brother TJ?
They can find TJ at Tuss4_skate. That's TUSS, the number 4_SKATE. With that said, thank you guys so much. You can follow us all on Now Mind You podcast, wherever you like to get your podcast or wherever you like to get your social media. We are in all of those places. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
I was about to say, damn, Bryce, you ain't gonna say bye.